Hello, everybody. It's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Thank you for being here today and for joining me on this journey. It's a challenging time right now, but I'm here for you, and I feel like it's a time to, look back at the things we've accomplished in our lives and start to feel that there's so much we can still do, and that adventures and new discoveries and new projects can actually stimulate our brain to thinking that things are going to be okay. I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, but just taking a stock take of your life, all the things that you've accomplished and what you've done, tough times that you've been through. Just take a moment to remember things you've dealt with and come out victorious and maybe more wise and resilient. It's important. But the point is, one of our bloggers, Julia Griffin Hatchie, wrote this article about taking a stock check of your life and or stock take, and how it can actually prepare you for new adventures. So whatever it is that you have done in your life, that you can build on that and you can make it part of the new you. There's lots that's maybe pulling us into a more kind of retreat, sort of quiet, pensive kind of state of mind where we're reflecting on things in a more somber way. But then the other thing is we've got time, we've got things that we can do to actually make this life more precious. So find something to do. Learning something new is the journey that Julia talks about, and I'd like to chat with you about this. Whether it's doing something really simple like just changing a lifestyle habit, starting exercise, doing a yoga lesson. By the way, yoga videos from 60 and Me are now free online on our YouTube channel. So if you're thinking about taking up a gentle yoga practice, go and check out our videos because they are so good. We've got gentle yoga for chair yoga, and also gentle yoga flows, which is like the whole practice if you're familiar with yoga positions. But anyway, it's great. So that may be one of the things that you're going to do. Maybe you started a new business. Perhaps you become a grandmother and you've got time now to spend with your grandkids and, just rediscover the child. I went down to the lake the other day with my grandson, and we blew bubbles. It was great. It was just fun. And I think that's the kind of thing, I don't know, in the middle of everything, I think we can just blow bubbles and be a child again for a bit. They don't see the stress. They see the opportunity and the joy. The other thing, of course, is giving back to your community and to your world. This is something that a lot of people feel drawn to do, and I think it can be the source of great strength, especially if you choose a cause or something that you believe in, that you can put all your energy and your passion and creativity into. And so you can actually, also start maybe to think about your legacy and about the things that you've done that you could share with other people, the things that you've learned, the things that you've been through. I mean, nobody wants to know the kind of when I was your age kind of story, but they are interested in kind of how you've overcome challenges that seemed a bit insurmountable. So doing a stock take of your life gives you the launching pad, the place to dive into a new adventure. You might want to start, for example, by doing a vision board. Vision boards are great. I actually have a couple of them scattered about me. In fact, if I was to turn the camera on my room, you'll see I've got pictures of people and family and experiences, because they stimulate my thoughts. They bring back a memory, which is really, really important. You can write a journal. But, maybe there's some approaches that we can suggest here that might be helpful. Now, Julia talks about, Julia, I always forget names here, Julia. She talks about dividing your life up into stages so that you can, actually remember the things you did at each phase. So the first thing is, maybe, your youth, and then your teenage years, your career period, and then your current, sort of after 50 period, when maybe if you had children, they've left home and you've got a different perspective on the world. And maybe ask some questions like, what skills did you achieve during each of those periods? What did you learn? What were your lessons? They say that, a lesson or the pain of something new or hurting you doesn't go away until you figure out why, the why it happened, and then what you learned from it. It's really important. The next thing, of course, is what joy it gave, what joy you had in those time periods. I mean, I look back on my childhood, and it was a tough time. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money. Well, my family didn't. We didn't go on big vacations. We didn't have lots of things. But I remember so many joyful moments. Being out in nature, being just in the lake, swimming, or just doing things that were fun and self-sufficient. That I created, and I think that's really powerful. So, what joy did you get from those experiences throughout your life? And then what challenged you? What were the biggest challenges that you faced? And when you look at those four things, what knowledge did you acquire? What did you learn? What gave you joy? And what what you were challenged by? That's really kind of a framework for this kind of stock take that you can do of your life. It basically, I guess in the bottom line, it just enables you to see where your strengths were. Through the challenges and the lessons, what you're good at. I mean, I think, maybe career, I should have mentioned motherhood, because if you've had children, that's a time of great learning. You learn, and in all kinds of ways, and you figure out what really brings you happiness and joy in life. And sometimes, especially given some of the situations in the world right now, that's pretty much the most important thing, is how you can be strong and get through tough times. So maybe forging a new direction isn't your big goal right now, but pursuing your life vision and looking at what adventures might be out there for you. What's wrong with that? I know that we retreat in times of difficulty, and we want to just stay low, but there's still things to be done and still things to learn and share. That's the most important thing, I think, that we have been through some pretty difficult times. I mean, I can remember as a child, and probably most of you can, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and remembering, being at home by myself, watching the TV, in really deep fear. And we've been through so many other political uprisings and challenges, and we get, and of course our parents as well. So we've been through a lot. I think that's super important. So I think the key message here that Julie is giving is that your life counts. And it counts because of all the things that you've been through, those things you've learned, the experiences you've had, the challenges you faced, and basically who you are today, and that you are relevant to the world. And I've said this probably more times than I need to, but women in their 60s and 70s, in my opinion, are the most resilient, strong, and compassionate people on the planet. I think we've seen the world evolve. Technology, communication, possessions, stuff, things, around us, but we know what the other side looks like. We've been there on the other side, so we can actually see what's potentially ahead, in the goodness of our humanity. And so, if you created a life Stocktake, what did it show you? What did you learn about your childhood, your young adulthood, and your motherhood and career, and now? In however you define this, I call it a fantasy of retirement. What do you bring to the world in terms of your knowledge and your experience? I think it's a really good question, and I hope that you do still pursue your dreams. Don't give up on them now. You've got so much still ahead of you, and I just want you to know that we're here for you at 60andMe, and you're here for each other. So leave your comments below. Tell us, sort of what goals you've got for the future and how you hope to pursue them and gain them. And if you are feeling like you need a little bit more of a sort of personal touch, I wanted to mention briefly our Patreon group. This is a supporters group for 60andMe, which we started a couple of years ago, and it's turned into an amazing community of women who want to get together on a more personal level. 60andMe now has about, 500,000 women who come to our 60andMe website, and we have like 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. But we have this small group, which of course it's a supporters group, so we ask for a donation, $3 or more a month, to keep 60andMe going for our expenses. And in addition, and in return for that, you can get some exclusive videos from me. I do travel videos. I do, just sort of chats about topics of interest that, we can talk about more personally. It's a private group, so there's no, problem about sharing or whatever. So you can go to patreon.com/60andme and join our Patreon supporters group. We also have a live show every Monday and Wednesday. And this has become such a fun thing. We call it the Friendship Lounge because women are meeting each other. They're actually meeting in person, which is awesome because people know, oh, I live in this New York area, or I live in California, Sacramento, okay. And they're getting together. And it's kind of a dream I've always had about 60andMe, because we don't, there's not often a way to find other women in real life, real person. So that's our 60andMe supporters group. And of course, please help us to support the channel. It helps us to reach other women by liking the video and subscribing. But anyway, you know that I love you all, and I appreciate every single one of you and the support you give us. And look forward to reading your reply to this question about have you created a life stock take? What's in the future for you? Take really good care, everybody. I love you all so much, and I know that you're going to be strong through all of this, and I'm by your side. Take really good care. Bye-bye.